Hey folks, this is Kelani. Our little content lull is almost over. Patch 8.1 is just 3 weeks away, and we now know the majority of content that awaits us. Hopefully we'll have plenty to do between patch 8.1 in December and Season 2 of BFA in January, with a new raid and everything else, but there are a few things you can do to make sure you're in a great position when patch 8.1 hits live servers. Who wants to log in on patch day and realize you can't hop into the new content because you have to do other various older things? Nobody, that's who. So let's have a look at what to get done before patch 8.1 goes live on December 11th. If you haven't heard yet, the shiny super special heritage armor that each allied race is rewarded with when you hit max level isn't going to be just for the allied races anymore. Both the blood elves and the dwarves will be getting their own amazing gear set to transmog across all of your blood elves or dwarves, but there are a few restrictions. Thankfully, you can get everything done right now, so when 8.1 goes live, you can just go straight to the little scenario quests which unlock the heritage armor, instead of having to work your way through the restrictions first. The first thing you'll need is a level 120 blood elf or dwarf. You can probably guess which one you need for each heritage armor questline. That's fairly easy, and if you're super interested in this heritage armor, your main is probably already one of those races. If not, and you just want a shiny set, be sure to level up your characters before 8.1. The other restriction is Exalted with your race's home faction. For the blood elves that would be Silvermoon, and for the dwarves that would be Ironforge. Oh gee, fantastic, another rep grind. Thanks Blizzard. This one isn't too bad though. I would imagine a lot of players already have these anyway, but if you're new to the game or just haven't gotten around to it yet, the fastest way to Exalted with these factions is to pick up their tabard. The Silvermoon vendor is right outside the gates of Silvermoon, next to the flight path there. The Ironforge vendor is right next to the flight path in Ironforge as well. So pick up your faction's tabard, and once you've done that, you'll want to head on over to Netherstorm in Outland. There's two dungeons of interest here, the Mechanar and the Botanica. Pop your tabard on and clear through the dungeons for as long as you can be bothered. The Mechanar yields faster rep per hour from my experiences and from what I've seen others say online, but the Botanica is nice to break up the monotony a little bit. You can run either of these dungeons endlessly on normal, and they both have a quick exit when you get to the end to make things even easier. You should be done in no time. I believe it takes maybe 2 to 3 minutes to clear each of these instances entirely, and you get a whole bunch of rep. With your rep at Exalted and a max level tune, you're all set to pick up that heritage armor in 8.1. There's also going to be a few new uses for Sanguicell, so if you've been dumping them into crafting items hoping to get the perfect set of stats, or you've just been dumping them full stop because you can't use them at all, it might be a good idea to keep a hold of any Sanguicell you get from now on. There's two new recipes that I'm mainly interested in here, a new feast and a new personal food which both have you cooking with blood. The feast uses the exact same materials as the Bountiful Captain's Feast, which is the best feast available right now. It's plus 100 to your primary stat, except it uses Sanguicell instead of Midnight Salmon. It provides the same buff, but it's using something which would be significantly more available than Midnight Salmon, therefore a lot cheaper, so this will be a variation of our best feast rather than a tier higher. But that could mean some very interesting changes to the price of Midnight Salmon, as they will be competing with the vast quantities of Sanguicell that a lot of raiders have been sitting on. So not only would I keep your Sanguicell, but I might start trying to sell any Midnight Salmon you've been holding on to as well, especially if you can get a good price on raid nights. The new feast rank 2 comes from Exalted Tortollan rep, so that might be something to get done if you want to get the most out of this new feast. The personal food that uses Sanguicell is potentially more damaging though. Borealis blood sausage requires thick paleo steaks, aromatic fish oil, a vendor item, and some Sanguicell. Instead of providing you with a secondary stat like all other personal food, the blood sausage will provide you with 85 of your primary stat, making them only 15 of your stat worse than the best feast on offer. They're also going to be significantly cheaper to make, though they might end up eating up your Sanguicell a little bit faster, as they require 5 for every rank's recipe. The rank 2 also comes from Tortollan, so another reason to look into getting some rep with our hard-shelled friends. If this sausage ends up becoming the best of the best personal food, it could have a hefty impact on the price of food and fish in patch 8.1. I would buy up any cheap paleo steaks you come across, maybe some fish oil too, and I'll be selling the majority of my fish on the remaining Tuesdays and Wednesdays to get the best bang for my buck. If you do nothing else, be sure to at least hold on to your Sanguicells. It looks like they're going to be pretty handy in future patches. Another item you should probably keep a tight grip on is your doubloons. Alright, they're more of a currency than an item, sue me, but patch 8.1 will be introducing a vendor for the island expeditions. That vendor will be using doubloons as a currency, and you can purchase all sorts of goodies like hats, pets, and various items from the island's loot table itself. Even if you're not super interested on what's on offer right now, you never know when something could get added onto the vendor's list of goodies. This stuff will always be more exciting than anything else you can spend your doubloons on in the islands themselves, so if you are throwing them all away on those one-time use island items, you might want to start holding onto them from now on. Patch 8.1 also brings us quite a bit of story content. Both the Horde and the Alliance will continue their war campaigns, which means a whole bunch of more quests for us to do. The new quests should tell the story of how we come to the Battle of Azeroth, so if you want to be clued in on the story, your war campaign is going to be the best way to stay in the know. I doubt they'll ever have an attunement tied to the raid, so you should be able to hop in even if you don't finish your war campaign, but where's the fun in that? Let's get down to knowing why we're there. I'm kidding, let's just go get all our loot. Obviously, to continue the war campaign, you'll have to get up to speed with what we've done so far, so if that's something you've been putting off for a while, be sure to finish up your war campaign on the character you're going to want to play in 8.1 if you're interested in the story. Your war campaign faction, 7th Legion or Honorbound, is also going to have an interesting new reward available from the emissary vendors if you're someone who loves to play alts, but this one does have a pretty hefty requirement attached to it. You'll be able to purchase a map which unlocks all of the flight paths across both Zandalar and Kulturas for all of those alts I know you've leveled through island expeditions. We all do it, it's the laziest, easiest way after all, but these new maps will be a huge quality of life improvement for players who want to level up multiple toons, but hate going around the world picking up all of the flight paths. But you need to have Pathfinder Part 1 achievement, which is going to be quite a lot of work if you haven't been actively playing recently. You'll need to explore the entirety of BFA, reach Revered Rep with every faction, complete 100 different world quests, complete every zone story quest, and finish up your war campaign. Pathfinder is going to be something you need to get done if you ever want to fly in patch 8.2, so it's going to be on your list in the future. If you're really bored and looking for something to do, why not just knock it out now? You can get some of these cool maps in 8.1 for your troubles, and that's a tick off your list for the future. And then there's also some new additions to Vol'jin's story, so if you want to learn about what happens to our favourite little Learn going forward, just be sure to keep up to speed with everything that's been happening so far. If you have no idea what Vol'jin quests I'm talking about, you start the questline in the Great Seal after you hit Revered with the Zandalari Empire. Talk to Rokan and work your way through the quests. They might be one of the more interesting parts of BFA so far, so be sure you don't miss out. There are some other ramp changes coming in 8.1 as well. The Champions of Azeroth item level rewards will become account-wide, so just be sure to get at least one character to Revered with Magni, and all of your characters can skip over that rep grind in the future. We'll see the addition of Paragon boxes to all BFA factions as well, so if you're already Exalted, you'll be able to earn extra reputation for some goodie boxes, which can include toys, pets, mounts, and I'm sure a whole bunch more artifact power, which is what we're all after really, let's be honest. If you want to be able to earn these boxes as early as possible, be sure to hit that Exalted mark with every faction before 8.1 goes live. I know it's a lot to ask, but Paragon boxes do end up having quite a few goodies. Speaking of Exalted reps, after 8.1 all meta achievements for Exalted reps earned will count across your entire account, so you could be sat on a new achievement, possibly even a new title, without even knowing it. A cool little thing you could do one of these days is log on over to any of your characters that you've played for a significant portion of any expansion and have a look for any unique Exalted reputations. You might save yourself a bit of time if you're grounding out a reputation all over again, or that character you left behind in TBC might just be a treasure trove of old Exalted factions. And one last thing you should at least look into before patch 8.1 goes live is the Ahead of the Curve achievement for killing Heroic Gahun. This one won't be going away in December, but will probably become unobtainable when the next raid tier hits. We know the Battle of Azeroth is currently scheduled to open its doors sometime in January, so if you really want an AOTC achievement for Gahun, there's no time like the present. That's pretty much everything on my list. I'll be working on my reps over the next few weeks because I've been slacking majorly with my emissaries lately. I'll definitely be holding on to all of the Sanguicell I can carry, and I'm super excited about the Blood Elf Heritage Armor. I made sure my character was ready and raring to go as soon as we learned about the restrictions. As a quick little footnote, if you were working on any new characters or alts recently, you might be interested to learn about the experience changes coming in 8.1. As a really brief summary, everything will be faster after the patch hits. I would hesitate to say don't level your alts before 8.1 comes up because that might be how you're having fun in the game right now, but if you're planning on doing a lot of leveling or you really want to play a different character or change a main, everything will be significantly faster in 8.1. Just a little heads up. Is there anything specific you want to make sure you get done before 8.1 comes out? Farming reputation, getting that Gahoon achievement, or maybe something entirely different? Leave all your thoughts in the comments section below. A big thank you to all of our supporters over on Patreon. You can see their names floating by on screen. If you want to join these lovely guys and gals, you can find a link in the description below. Remember to leave a like just below the video before you leave, and if you want to see more, make sure to subscribe. But apart from that, thanks for watching folks, good luck and have fun, and as always I will see you next time.